Because I've been getting the business every night, and now I'm going to give you the business. No titles. This one's going up the morning of. I think I've slept an hour and a half. Maybe it could have only been 2 hours that I've slept. This is a once and done. Like there's no second takes. There's no anything. This video is what it is. I probably will be releasing 3 videos today, which is not the way I like to do it. I like 1 video 3 days a week. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is the schedule I've decided on, and it's working out for me great. Look at my view counts. I'm really getting the hits. YouTube only lets me have a couple thumbnails, and then it says you can't have any more thumbnails. So I've been complaining about a shit time that I've been having with YouTube for years. I don't normally drink coffee, but I just wanted something. Like I wanted something earthly and material. I'm like, you know, like a baby. Like I want coffee, so I made myself coffee, and it's actually really good coffee. I've had the first good coffee ever in my life, and it was on an accident. It was like on clearance, and it's like organic, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, this is what good coffee tastes like. I've never had it, and it's the morning of July 20th, 2025, and Trump denied the Epstein stuff. Does that mean that the economy is going to collapse soon? Like, is the Epstein files a diversion from like pulling, you know, like from instead of draining the swamp, they're going to drain the economy or something? I don't know. I have been praying to God. Let me see if my coffee's cooled off enough. Wow, that's good. I like to keep coffee a treat because I know that it's the thing that people use to get them going in the morning. So I tried to avoid that. I've been praying to God since last year, since 2024, that He would grant it, that I'd get a good night's sleep. I sobered up in 2024 and, like, you know, stayed completely sober. And as close to I've had as like falling off the wagon was I had 2 beers that somebody gave me, and then when I slept, my entire night was just a nightmare. It was like a repeating nightmare cycle, and I woke up and said, okay, Lord, I get it. I had 2 beers, which isn't even enough to get me drunk, but I was having this crazy nightmare. And it was like a hell loop. I don't know what you want to call it. It doesn't even matter. So then I woke up and I thought, okay, I'll go back to sleep. And I went back to sleep, and my dream continued off exactly where it had left off right when I woke up. That's strange. I don't know if I've ever had a dream like that in my entire life. So I'm dreaming about, you know, torment. And then I wake up and I say, okay, God, I get it. I can't drink any booze at all. Not even 2 beers, which is lame. That's nothing. Like like when I drank, I would drink spirits, you know, which is bad because you've seen my videos maybe where I talk about how you don't want to drink in spirits because they're bad spirits. So yeah, that sounded good there, my laugh. So I was like, okay, no drinking, and I haven't. I have a jug of Southern Comfort. It's still unopened. I'm going to give it away. But, you know, who am I going to give it to? Maybe I should just dump it away. I feel like nobody should drink alcohol. But, you know, it's like a whole unopened jug. You know, like big one of Southern Comfort. I haven't touched it. I don't intend to. It would be nice to have some wine to gladden my heart and ease my distress, but I dare not have anything. So no strong drink, no spirits. So I sobered up last year, and the last thing to go was, I'm kind of rural out here, and there was a vape shop that opened up, so I went in to check it out, and that's when I discovered Delta 8 and basically like gas station highs. And it wasn't even a gas station. It was a place that sold like the, you know, pop pens and THC stuff and all that. And I didn't need a weed card to buy it. So That's how I found out that with the Elf vape, that you can just hit it like 5 or 6 times and you're high. I'm like, oh, I don't even care what the difference is between this and weed. I'm high. And they would sell these gummies and these candies that said nanotized THC, and I'm like, wow, I know that it takes like a month or more for THC to leave your brain. What does nanotized THC gummies do to your brain? And this is like over-the-counter stuff. All you have to do is be like 18 or 20, probably 21, and you can just buy it. Like, you can just have it. So, that was like the last thing to go, and it was fun. I like to get high. You know, like, the drugs work. That's why people take them. But I've seen people mess their lives up with prescription drugs, and I would never take them. I never liked Timothy Leary and the 60s counterculture guys, so I'm not going to take those drugs. But I've been praying to God since last year, when I sobered up around, like, it was like during Lent, because I used to go to Orthodox church before I got kicked out of it for asking for help with the exorcism from my spiritual mentor, who's the one that brought me into Orthodoxy. And he was my Tuesdays with Morris. I would sit with him on Tuesdays, and it would be Q&A. I'd come with questions I wrote throughout the week, and I'd sit with him on Tuesday before the Akaf Feast of Holy and Righteous Joachim and Anna, which is a service that need not exist, and I'll probably never attend that service or pray it again. It's asking for help from the grandparents of Jesus. That's Joachim and Anna. That's Mary's parents. So I used to go in the evenings, because it's an evening service. I go in for evening Akaf Feast, and like hardly anybody would show up. And I had been going to that since we went under lockdowns. And, you know, like, so not a lot of people were showing up. Only the brave and the bold were showing up. And I remember the pastor, who was my spiritual mentor, I used to call the guy Father. Now I don't call anybody Father except my Father who are in heaven. So when I talk about clergy, I used to say Father this and Father that, as is the custom in Eastern Orthodoxy. I don't do that because it says in the Bible, you shall call no man your father save for your Father in heaven. So I have a dad, all right, and I have a pastor of my church. But I used to call the guy Father, and I was really close to the guy, and I went to help with him for exorcism. And I don't know how else to quantify it, but there's another video that will probably come out today. I probably will be releasing 3 videos today, which, again, I think I said that already. I don't really like to do. But I haven't had a good night's sleep since last year. And when I sobered up was during Lent. And then somebody gave me some actual relief for real pot. And I messed up right at the end of Lent. Like, Lent for Orthodoxy is, it's like the last 40 days. Really, it's like 50 days of Lent. And I lost a lot of weight because there's fasting. And I went to Orthodox church where I caught an old man. He's probably like had 20 years on me. I caught an old man in my arms. It was like one of the biggest, tallest guys in the church. And I found out that when somebody passes out, we were fasting, and he's singing a choir with me, and he was in front of me, and I saw him wobbling, and then he went down, and I caught him. And I don't know if you know this, but you can't really catch, unless you're catching like a petite woman, you can't really catch like a, I don't know, like 250-pound, 6'7" guy when his body goes limp. You just fall down, and you're the thing that softens his fall. And a bunch of people had passed out from, old people, and one guy, there was a guy in a wheelchair at church, and this is 2024 Lent. So we changed our calendar. It's Yuki Church, and we run the old calendar, which is 13 days after everybody else celebrates the holiday. We celebrate it 13 days later. So instead of celebrating the Saturnalia on the 25th, we celebrate the birth of Jesus on January 7th. Okay, so that's our Christmas. And our Easter is, again, 13 days after everybody else celebrates it. But the Metropolitan is old and tired, and he said, okay, everybody wants to celebrate it. We'll have a vote on changing the calendar. And he said it has to be a 70% vote to change the calendar to celebrate Christmas and all the holidays on the, on the 25th, and change the calendar. So it wasn't a 70% vote, and he changed the calendar. So on fake Easter Sunday last year, I went to my spiritual mentor and I said, I got to talk to you about getting exorcism for somebody, because I brought it to him before and he didn't want to deal with it, because now I know he's one of the clergy that doesn't believe in exorcism. And this woman needed it. She has a devil tattooed over her heart, and children were involved. And exorcism is real. I don't care if you believe it or not. Just clam up, because this is my video and you can't really interrupt me anyway. You can go away if you don't want to watch it anymore. It's going to get interesting, because I haven't slept good since last year. So I went into church on fake Easter Sunday 2024 and asked for help, and by the end of it, after service, he said wait for me in the library, because he just wasn't helping me. He didn't want to deal with the somebody needs exorcism, because he didn't believe in it. And also he's like working on his like master's or whatever that means for clergy, so he's been writing papers, and he has to travel to like, I don't know, it's like Washington or something, wherever, because where he went to school or something. So he would have to travel there to do something. So he wants to be the Metropolitan or the Archbishop, because they're both old and they're both going to retire. And this is the Ukrainian church in America. And we don't celebrate the Pope. He's nothing to us. We don't even respect him. Okay, so that's how I used to go to church before I got kicked out. So I'm going to tell this story in another video, but I'm going to tell the parts that I didn't tell you before. And then you can watch my like hour and 23-minute video where I open up with how I got kicked out of Eastern Orthodox Church, and how orthodoxy ain't so hot, not to me. And it doesn't matter if it's Orthodox, you just have to be a follower of Jesus Christ. So I went in there to get help for someone who was in need of exorcism, and I know that they were in need of exorcism because the woman's husband came after me with an axe. And I did exorcism on him. And he had to take it. He was going to kill me with an axe, and when I went into exorcism mode, the guy couldn't do anything except stand there like an idiot and take the exorcism. Why didn't he keep pummeling me? So anyway, I go to my former spiritual father, my mentor, the guy who brought me into the church, the guy who chrismated me. And he wouldn't help me, and I saw the demons take him. And demons that I brought to church with me jumped from him. I'm sorry if you don't like this. This is the world we live in. Like it or don't. The demons jumped from me to him because he was unwilling to help, and they saw their opening and they took it. So then my pastor went to demon mode, and he blocked me leaving the church library, because it's a nice big old church. We have a whole big library that we have meetings in and everything. It can accommodate like a lot of people. And it's a shitty library, but it's a big one. And he blocked the doorway before I even got to talk. He said, go wait in the library. This is after service, kissed the cross and all that stuff. So he said, go wait in the library, because that's his accent. You can guess where he's from. So I waited for him in the library, and he came in and he blocked the door with his body like this. Like he put his, so I have to go through him to get out. And I asked for help with exorcism, and he wouldn't help me. And he was demonized. That's the word you use for it. He was demonized, and then I said, I want to grab a hold of you. I said, what do you do? Like, I know this guy. Why are you being like this to me? Like, I really mean it. Like, whether you believe it or not, you're doing a terrible job of handling it. And then then the demons heard everything they needed to hear. Oh, you want to fight? Then he was like, go on. He's still wearing his garments, his Easter Sunday, even though it was like fake Easter Sunday and not Orthodox Easter Sunday like it had always been. Not that it matters. I mean, do you know when he was born? I don't know when he was born. So he does this with his garments. He's like, go on, I want you to, is a direct quote. He wanted me to lay hands on him, and I was going to fight him, and I was going to kick this old guy's ass. And there was more meat on me then. I haven't had good night's sleep since last year, and I'm like, and fasting and prayer, and I look like a damn skeleton without this blazer on. So when I was gonna I was gonna punch him, and he was waiting for it. He like, I'm telling you, like, he just, go on, I want you to. And he lifted up his garments, his Easter Sunday garments. and I felt hands on my shoulders, and I don't know how else to describe it except that it felt like somebody way taller than me was just like putting their hands on my shoulders like, don't do that. So I didn't. And then we kept fighting, and then, you know, maybe somebody clipped that video. I don't know if anybody clips my videos anymore. Maybe you have what I said when I remembered what it was that happened, because I told the story like last year, when like fresh when after it happened. So actually I sat on it for a while, and then I made the video, and then I waited a while, and then I put the video up last year. So then it ended with me, you know, like pushing him out of the way instead of fighting him out of the doorway. And I told him to go to hell, and he said, go on, get out of here. I said, I'll never come. No, this is what I said. I said, I'll never set foot in this church again. And he said, go on, we don't want you here. And I'm like, it's you and me in the church library. Who's we? So he's yelling at me and, you know, condemning me or whatever as I'm leaving the church. And everybody's down there waiting for coffee hour because a lot of people stayed because it's Easter Sunday. And there's a lady smoking outside the church, and I told him to go to hell, like as I'm going out the door. And he's like, I guess meeting me at the door, yelling at me. And then the lady smoking a cigarette said, "Whoa!" Because, you know, I sang in the choir with her. Like, she leads the choir when the choir director ain't there. So it's like, she knows who I am, and it's not my temperament, and it's certainly not Father Bozo's. So that's how I got kicked out of Orthodox Church. And I've been sober since around, well, since the last joint that I had. It wasn't even a joint, it was like in a one-hitter. Since the last weed I had when I broke the fasting through Lent, right at the end of Lent, like I almost made it through the 50 days of Lent. I know they say it's 40 days, but really for us it's like 50 days of Lent. So I had made it through the almost made it through the 50 days of fasting, and I messed it up like 2 or 3 days before. And then I had to go to confession, and I said, hey, I broke Lent, I smoked pot. And it was to another guy, it wasn't even, and then I also confessed that I got kicked out of church because I went to another Yuki Orthodox church, and they were really nice to me. But I had big problems. You can go watch the other episode. So now I'm going to talk about today after I have a sip of this coffee. I've had about 2 hours of sleep, and that's my sleep cycle for, it's maybe like 2 months where it's been the worst sleep of my life. I can't remember when I did a fast, and it was a 3-day water fast, and it was hard to do. I've fasted before on fluids, and I've gone like a week when we went under lockdowns in COVID. I fasted for a week, and I rapidly lost a lot of weight, and I made videos from back then that they're still up. They're on the channels on my page, but it's somebody else's channel. It's like either Soften the Coffin's channel or Champion of Love's channel. And you can see a video where my cheekbones are all sunk in from a week of juice fasting. But this was the hardest fast I ever did. It was 3 days of water fasting. So I was going to do 3 days of water fasting and then 3 days of dry fasting, but it was so hard to get through the 3 days of water fasting that I don't care what they tell you. Like, oh, once you start fasting, it's great and you feel great. I felt like shit. I had headaches, and I set it up so I could do it over the weekend. So I fasted, I think it was Friday into Sunday I broke the fast, and the 3 days, like 3 24-hour periods in there. And after that, I've learned something about spiritual warfare, and my dreams have been just attacks, not nightmares, not sleep paralysis, just in my dreams, I'm recognizing that the people in my dreams aren't who they say they are. I'm having a dream, it's a younger version of my progeny, and in the dream, I'm like, yeah, you're not my progeny, because my progeny is old. Who are you? And then the dream changes and I wake up. The other time there was a dog, this is in a video that's 1 hour and 23 minutes. So I have 3 videos, however long this one is. And then I have another video that's 44 minutes. So part 1 is this video that you're seeing. Part 2 is 44 minutes. And part 3 is an hour and 23 minutes. And I guess I'm throwing all these up today because I have tried to get help. I've gone to online exorcist guy about help with exorcisms and the follow-up to the exorcism I did where the guy came after me with the axe. He didn't help me. And he's like an up-and-coming famous YouTube guy. And I want to like him, I really do. But I can't because I went to his Saturday conference call things like probably 8 or 9 times. And he didn't help me. And I'm like, well, maybe that's how maybe God wants me to struggle and figure it out for myself. So maybe I should just stay with what I always do, which is asking God for help and not going to YouTube exorcist guy for, that God would work through him to help me. So I guess it's just me and God. Not to be mean to that guy. But you'll see in the hour and 23 minute video that I'm kind of upset. Because I watched him do exorcisms on other people and weird stuff happen, and he didn't help me. Sorry. I would like to have done that because then I wouldn't be making this video that I'm making today. My sleep has been me waking up, breaking. They tried to, like, this is the stuff just to generalize for like the last 2 months maybe of like the worst sleep I've had. And I've been praying, like I said up front, I've been praying for a good night's sleep since last year. And I've been sober since around Lent last year. I've been praying for a good night's sleep before then. And one of the things that even got me going to the vape shop to have Delta 8 and THCA, which is the kind that gets you high, was just because I wanted to fall asleep and not remember my dreams. I just wanted to be able to sleep. And because I have like a weird vivid dream life, and then like I sleep but my sleep doesn't feel like sleep, so I thought, well, I'll just have it before I go to bed. And it worked. I slept like a log. I don't remember anything. I just wake up, but still tired. So you know that sleep deprivation is one of the things they do, like if they want to like MK Ultra you or whatever, they don't let you sleep. Like it's like one of those 3-letter organizations tactics to wear a person down to extract information or to put information in there. They deprive you of sleep. You know this, right? It's the story of celebrities. I went into rehab and they wouldn't let me sleep. I think there's a Taylor Swift story where she talks about how she went someplace for help and then she like tweeted it that they tortured her or something and they wouldn't let her sleep. And I'm like, yeah, that's the mind control shit. So that's neither here nor there. So, I haven't had a good night's sleep since last year. And my sleep cycle is I get to sleep for an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, and then I wake up. And then when I wake up, I have to rebuke my dreams, and I say, if there has been any deals made between me and the demons in my sleep, I rebuke them, I reject them, and I sever any covenants I may have made in my sleep in the dream realm. Because I don't have the right words, but God knows what I mean. So I wake up and I'm, God, I don't know why you do this to me. I pray to him so many nights. I say, please, Lord, hold on. I got to start it again. So I pray to God. I say, please, Lord, I just pray that my rest be rest and that it not be spiritual warfare. Because I'm not having night terrors or sleep paralysis demons. I've had a couple instances where I'm not even afraid of them anymore. Like I've had the dreams where I get attacked by a like, it's always shape-shifting. I'm having a dream and I recognize, wait a minute, you're not whoever it is in my dream, whether it's like a famous person or just a dream person or somebody from my life. There'll be a moment where they'll move a certain way and the glamour or whatever you want to call it will fade. And I'll see that the person isn't who they say they are because they look ugly. Because they're demons. Because what I've deduced, and I don't have anybody's videos to give me answers on this, but what I've deduced is that when I sleep, when anybody sleeps maybe, but maybe it's just me, that most of my dreams are not, like my dreams are never from God as far as I'm aware. It's just spiritual warfare. I go to sleep and I get attacked in a subtly undermining way where I've given examples in this in my other videos. Like in the 44-minute video, there's examples of this. And in the hour and 23-minute part 3 of this, whatever this is that you're watching, because this is the first part. I'm sorry that this is just a once and a done. I want to get it up the morning of, because I don't know why. Like I just want help from God, and God's not helping me. So now I'm throwing it out into the world because I ask enough for God's help. Maybe you know a video that you can recommend to me that I would actually believe. Because if you're going to go to your dream dictionaries and online, don't do that shit. Because it won't help you. It's just leading you in totally the wrong direction. Interpreting symbols of dreams and all that Jung and Freud, it's bunkum. Just don't even believe it. And like, oh, I'm going to go to the online dream meaning app or whatever. It doesn't help you. It's nothing. So what's happening is I'll find out that the people in my dreams, they turn into demons when I'm like, wait a minute, you know, my kid's grown up, you can't be them. And then I know that it's a dream, and then they attack me. But I'm not even scared. Like, instead of saying, I bind you demons in Jesus' name and I command you into the abyss, which would be kind of the thing to do probably. Because I've done that when I did my first exorcism. So what's happening is that I'm grabbing hold of the demon or hitting it, and if I hit it, they disappear and they fade away. If I grab a hold of it, then they're weak. Like, if you actually grab a hold of these creatures and, you know, like, oh, you're not really so-and-so. Like, I grabbed a hold of somebody in a dream that was trying to have sex with me, and they turned into an ugly mermaid with a spindly, skinny arm and like a red scaly tailed bottom, and I'm like, oh, I got a demon, and I'm like, I got it. I was even saying that in a dream, like, I got it. And I give a more detailed recount of that in one of the other videos, but this is the first part. And I have been praying to God that this season end. So I would like, please, Lord, like every night I do this, please, Lord, I pray that my sleep be sleep, that my rest be rest, without being influenced or tempted by evil, because every time I only get to sleep in snatches, and when I wake up, I have to rebuke the dream and sever the covenant that I've made with some form of evil. Like in my dream, they try to give me drugs, they try to give me sex, they try, like, you know, climb on top of me. They tried to get me to sign stuff. They try to come and have meals and join, like, have, one of my dreams was a reunion with old friends, and I'm like, I'm not even friends with you guys anymore. Why would I eat with you? And then that kind of ruins the dream, and it's like one of the times when they're trying to get me to eat the dream food and it doesn't work. The other time I was walking around like a flea market. This is all dreams, by the way. And there was these pretty girls and they were dancing, and then another one showed up that looked the same. I'm like, oh, these women are twins. And then I was like, oh no, these women are triplets. And they were pretty, but the more I watched them, like, hypnotized me with their song and dance inside of a flea market, dirt mall, whatever you want to call it, like an indoor garage sale thing. They couldn't hold the illusion, and they got ugly. And I was like, wait a minute, you're ugly. I don't want to see this. And they were trying to get me to eat food, and they gave me like a piece of cherry pie, and I ate it, but when I put it in my mouth it tasted like shit, so I went, it tastes like sand, and I spit it out. So they're trying to get me in my dreams to drink booze, smoke weed. Like in one of the dreams there was like just a little bit of a swig of wine, so I was like, oh, I'll finish this off. And without thinking about it, I drank it, and then I remembered in the dream, oh no, I gotta wake up now. I drank the drink. Because this is how evil works in your dreams. And I don't, like, I'm just telling you, like, I don't think that this is the problem for everybody, but I think that when I went into my period of fasting, that was me drawing myself closer to God, so the spiritual warfare stuff turned up. And for some people, and I have heard about this when people do fasting, that things in their lives will get messy so that they'll break the fast because they don't want you getting closer to God. Well, I didn't break the fast, even though I felt like dirt through the whole thing, you know, 3 days of water. The trouble I had started after I ended the fast, and it hasn't stopped. That was like probably 2, if not 3 months ago. I don't even remember anymore because I haven't had a good night's sleep since last year. But whenever I fasted, I couldn't even tell you, unless I found like old notes of when I wrote dates down or whatever. I don't even know when I fasted. It's been like 2-3 months, okay? And it's been the shittiest sleep of my life. And here I am. This is you know, my testimony, right? That's what this is. So I'm telling you what I've been going through. Got any ideas? Because I went to Demon Slayer's guy. You can figure out who that is. He does Saturday conference calls, and he doesn't help me. I wasted like 7, 8, 9 Saturdays with this guy, and for nothing. My opinion, just to know that I have to rely. It has to be me and God, and I can't go to some other guy for help, because his YouTubes may be great, but it's hard for me to like the guy after this. So I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry, God. You know that I don't. If he's helping people and casting out demons, that's what we want. But it didn't help me. And I even asked him, I said, about casting out demons. I said, well, do I need to do a follow-up with the guy with the axe? Do I need to do this, do that? And every time I ask him about something, he's like, yeah, I don't know. And one of the other things I have is like a ringing in my ears that wouldn't go away. So the demon exorcist guy, he says, oh, well, ringing in the ears can mean like that's some kind of spiritual warfare that's trying to block you or something. And I was like, what do I do about that? And then he's the same answer he always gives me. Yeah, I don't know. But anybody else will go above and beyond to help. But I guess he don't like me. Maybe that's just him, because he's still a person. We're not perfect down here. So maybe he don't like me, or maybe God's like, no, that he wants me to figure it out, that I shouldn't have went to YouTube exorcist guy for help, even though his video is really cool and everything. So I'm like, okay, it's you and me, God. And, like we got to sleep at night, and I haven't had good night's sleep since last year, and I've been praying for it. Every night I'm praying, please, Lord, I pray for peaceful, restful, undisturbed sleep, that I not have nightmares, dark satanic fantasies, lustful sexual dreams, that I not have nocturnal emissions, that I not have sleep paralysis. And, well, from time to time I have nocturnal emissions. I used to have a pretty active sex life, and they used that against me in my dreams. I had a particularly hot, ex-girlfriend, and we used to do all the dirty things. So a lot of times in dreams they'll pretend to be her, like the younger, beautiful version of her, because by now she's like an old grandma. But, because I'm old too, even though I don't look at it great, right? Even without sleep. So this has been like a shit year of my life. I'm sober all the time, and I can't even get a good night's sleep. And I fasted, and it turned up the spiritual warfare stuff, and that's this video, and I have 2 more right after it. I don't like releasing 3 videos on a day, because I like to stretch them out. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is what I've decided on. I kind of like that schedule, and I intend to stick with it. Today's different. So I've been praying for God that he would help me. And, I trust him, I love him, I have faith, I believe, but for whatever reason he hasn't helped me. So now I'm probably getting in trouble with God even worse by making a video and showing it to you, because I can't get a good night's sleep. So I'm starting off my Sunday morning. I don't go to church anymore. I tried going to a couple different churches, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not opposed to it. I loved singing in the choir. I miss it, because where I went, we'd sing the Psalter. We'd sing like a lot of stuff we sang were just psalms. And and they're beautiful, and I love it. And everybody would find a place where their voice fit in, and it would sound good. I didn't realize how good we sounded in the choir until like right before I got kicked out of church. It may have been the day of like fake Easter Sunday. I never go to the bathroom during service. I'm like, that can wait, if you have to pee or something. So I was like, no, I have to pee. So I peed, and it was the first time I ever heard how we sounded. Granted, my voice wasn't in it, but I know that I fit in. And I would do like some stuff on my own, because I have like a pretty good church voice, right? And I would be complimented on it. But I heard them singing without me, and I thought, wow, this is the first time in all the years that I've been going to church here that I ever heard how we sounded. Because when you're right up in the midst of the rest of the choir, it's not the same thing as what they hear downstairs, because we have like a choir balcony. And the choir balcony right above my head, after I got kicked out of church, the roof's coming down, and it's going to cost them 90 grand to fix the roof right over where I stood in the choir. The rain is pouring in by like the gallons. It's bad. So, and that was last year. So I hope they got rounded up the money and get it fixed, because there's a bunch of rich Yukis, and they're jerks, and they're haughty, and you know how God hates haughtiness. And they deny almsgiving on the grounds of the church. Right there on the grounds of the church, they deny homeless people money. That's in my other video. So, bless them. I hope that they sort it all out and find God, because I don't know. But anyway, I've been wanting God to help me with sleep, and he just isn't granting it. So maybe he's toughing me up for something, or maybe there's just something that's wrong with me, that I'm not obeying him, that he's like, I'm not helping him. So, and when I tried to get help from somebody else, that didn't help either, and now I have a chip on my shoulder about the guy, and I kind of don't want to watch his videos. because it didn't help me. Or, you know, God working through him didn't help me, whatever you want to believe. So anyway, this video is going up. I've been assessing my videos lately, and I'm like, they're pretty terrible. I'm sorry that my videos are shit lately. I've got more to come. I have videos uploaded 3 days a week into September. So, you know, and I have more. I have like 4 I haven't even uploaded yet. So I have videos into like, probably mid-September. And then I have videos I made that you never even are going to see. And whatever this is, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. But it's like an honest video. And I hesitate to do it because I'm like, they're going to think I'm nuts. Maybe a little bit. I haven't had sleep since last year. I haven't had good night's sleep since last year. Like, honestly. And since I did the fast, and I haven't been sleep. I've especially not been sleeping good. And granted, this is without sleep paralysis or shadow people or none of that stuff. I had a demon climb on my bed. It pretended to be my doctor, and then I'm like, he was trying to get me to sign something like a form for the hospital or whatever. And I'm like, why am I even here? I'm not sick. And then he climbed on the bed with me, and I'm like, why is a doctor on the bed with me? He climbed up like on 2 legs because he was getting ready to climb on my chest because it's a demon. And I'm like, get out of here. And then I tell that story in one of the other videos. And then he turns into the demon. And I was like, that's like the worst of it. Is like I saw the demon, and then I didn't say, I bind you in Jesus' name or by the authority of the name of Jesus Christ. I just kicked him and he went away. And I tell that story in more detail in one of the other 2 videos. Or maybe even in both of them, I'm not sure. So I'm not going to tell it again. So you don't have to hear it in triplicate. So, a man's got to sleep. Alright? So where was I going with this? I can't remember. It'll come to me. So, this is how I sleep. I sleep an hour and a half. And the only other person that slept like that was I had a friend that was abused as a child. He was molested. So even as an old man, as a senior citizen, because he's a little bit older than me, he was in his 70s, and he used to tell me, he said, I only ever sleep for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And I said, why? And he said, that's just how it is for me. He's like, that's just how I sleep. And I said, for how long? And he said, since I was a kid. And I said, what? Because the guy's in his 70s, and he's LGBTQ, and he had that done to him. So he would always wake up. It's like he never, this old gay guy never got over the trauma of being molested as a child. He's on a clock into his 70s where he's waking up every hour and a half to 2 hours. That's the schedule that I'm on, waking up. But I'm waking up rebuking the demons that are trying to get me to eat the evil poison food, sign contracts, smoke weed, drink booze, weird things, trying to get me to dance with them. There's people trying to hug me in dreams. There was somebody trying to pretend to be, again, they were trying to pretend to be somebody in my life that's grown up now. It was one of my ex-girlfriend's kids, and I was close to them. We broke up. It was pretty bad. That's why I said don't date women with kids. And I wanted to get rid of her, which I did, but I wanted to keep the kid, and that's not how it works. So in my dream, this was just this week, just passed, I was like, there they were, and they were like, I'm like, and somebody brought them in. It was my high school chum. The demons were pretending to be my high school chum. And in the inside of a cardboard box, they opened a cardboard box, and ta-da! My ex's kid popped out of the box. And I'm like, oh wow, it's really you. And I was happy to see them, but then pretty quick I was like, wait a minute, you're a grown-up now, because that was like 10 years ago, and you're an adult now. So who are you? And then they started crying, hug me, hug me. They wanted to hug me. Then I had another dream, like even before that dream I just told, like they're trying to touch you, to lay hands on you, anything they can do to make contact. I had somebody tackle me with a hug in a dream, and they were glad to see me, but they wouldn't show me their face. So I hugged them back. I'm like, ah ha ha ha. And then I remembered, I'm like, no, I have to wake up and rebuke this dream. I have to sever whatever it is they did to me. Lord, I had somebody tackle me in my dream with a hug that obviously wasn't them, but I hugged them back. Whatever that meant, I disassociate, I disconnect, I disavow, I think I may have said. I sever whatever this subtle evil covenant could have been in my dreams, because it's like a deal, like you're making covenants with demons, all right? You don't know it. That can happen in your sleep. And it's been happening to me every single night, multiple times for like 2 to 3 months. It sucks. But that's part of what happens when you sleep. I'm not trying to make you scared about like, oh, you mean when I sleep, it's all just attacks by demons. I don't know. That's what it is for me. Every night, every time I sleep. God, for whatever reason, is allowing me to be under this spiritual warfare that doesn't even feel like spiritual warfare. They just seem like dreams, like the kind of dreams you'd wake up and you'd be like, I'll go to my online dream dictionary and I'll see what the dreams mean. What does Jung's red book say about lions and dreams or whatever? Bullshit. BAALSH it. Okay? I'm being attacked in my... This is why I sound like a nut. But that's just how it is. It's the truth. It's like layers of life. If you want to get closer to God, there's spiritual warfare is a little bit different. So here I am, good morning, looking like shit, telling you that I haven't had a good night's sleep since last year. And I fasted for 3 days on water. And I've had the worst sleep, maybe the worst sleep of my life. Actually, I think the worst sleep of my life was after a particularly bad breakup. That was the worst sleep of my life. But this is a new level. So I've been praying to God, please, Lord, I just want to sleep. Let my sleep be sleep. Let my rest be rest. So every time I go to sleep, maybe this will help you. You can just do this just when you go to bed at night. I have to. I have to. And I say, Father God, as I sleep, I pray the armor of God on me. And I pray to leave it on all day. And even if I don't come to you before I sleep, I pray that the armor of God remain on me. So you can go look up what the armor of God is. It's from head to toe. And give me my armaments, Lord, I'm going to sleep. And it doesn't work, because in my sleep, I'm like fighting demons or grabbing or holding on to them. But what I'm not doing, unfortunately, is saying, I rebuke you, I bind you in Jesus' name, and I command you into the abyss, or I cast you before the feet of the Lord for him to do with you as he wills. And by the authority of Jesus' name, I bind you, demon, from doing me any harm, and all this stuff. So I have the dream, and a lot of times I don't remember them. I just remember part of it. I'm like, oh, well, I dreamed. Lord, I don't think my dream was a good thing. I don't think it was from you. I'd feel like if you sent me a dream, Lord, this is me talking to God. I'm telling you what it's like for me. So I wake up and my eyes aren't even open yet, and I'm not awake. And I have like a script. I should just go get it and show it to you. So that I wake up and I just I've been sleeping with like a little light on so that I can read my script from rote about what to say to cast this evil away from me that preys upon me when I sleep in so many subtly undermining ways. They try to hug me, they try to have sex with me, they try to get me to look at pornography, they try to get me to smoke weed. Somebody gave me a big, again, as an ex-friend, I'm like, well, I'm not even friends with you anymore. I don't want this. And they're like, no, you don't understand, dude, this is the good weed. And they gave me like a big block of weed, and it was all green and pretty and vibrant. And they're like, no, you can have it. It's okay to have this. It's like not against God to have this weed. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. So I accepted the gift even though I didn't smoke the weed. So when I woke up, I'm like, Lord, I rebuked that dream. I accepted the gift, I accepted the weed, but I sever this evil covenant, or whatever you want to call it, Lord, because I don't even know what's going on, and I pray to you give me sleep. You haven't given me sleep, but I reject that dream, and I didn't smoke the weed, and I have no deal, and I sever myself from this deal. It shall have no effect on my waking life, because I feel like that's what it is. They get you to go along with something evil in the dream, to try to dance with you, lay hands on you, hold you, hug you. Because, like I said, they opened the box and there was a kid in the box. They're like, yay, and they missed me and everything. And I'm like, you're grown up now. So then they started crying to get me to hug them. And then I had to wake up and say, Lord, whatever that was, I know that wasn't them. They're grown up now. I reject that dream. I rebuke it. I renounce it. I sever any deals that may have been made with demons in my dreams so that it has no effect on my waking life, because I think that's how we get kept from the good things. There's a part in the Bible that says, I demand to be recompensed sevenfold for that which has been taken or kept from me by the enemy, right? It's a demand. Is it in Isaiah maybe? It's a demand that's made by somebody in the Bible. For what's been, is it Joseph maybe? Anyway, they make a demand. Forgive my ignorance. They make a demand to God, like, I demand to be recompensed sevenfold for that which the enemy has taken from me. Or maybe it's Job. Not sure. So that's kind of what I'm doing when I wake up every hour and a half to 2 hours, Lord. Like, whatever they tried to take from me in my sleep and my dreams, I reject it and I sever it. No deal. No dice. Demons. So I take it to God, like, right away. Like, I get up, my eyes aren't even open. And, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to read what I wrote because, like, I'm, like, stumbling for words because I'm not even awake. And I'm like, no, I just want it broken. Whatever they tried to get me to do in my dreams. And it's kind of, I've had enough of it. And I hope that me making this video that God will help me. So I'm not really given to asking, you know, any of the 12 of you to watch my videos to pray for me. Maybe it would help me if you would ask God when you call him and leave a message on his machine for me and say, God, will you please help him out? Because I watched his videos about how he can't get sleep, and he even went to Demon Slayer's guy and he didn't help him. And you know how many times that God knows how many times I've complained about Demon Slayer guy not helping. I'm like, why does this guy help me? He's putting a wedge between he and I. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the guy. I'm just saying, like, I just went to help. I just want to sleep and I want help. Do I need to do a follow-up exorcism? Because I see the guy that I did the exorcism on, and his face changes into demon face when I see him, and he scowls because the demons hate me. And it's all demon stuff. It's all real. So I'm sure I'm sorry about this video, and maybe you want to clip grab these videos. You know, this part 1, I'm ending it. Part 1, part 2, part 3. So this is my just personal recounting, very fresh. You know, I don't know when you're going to see this, what day of the week you'll see it, but I'm recording this Sunday morning, July 20th, because I barely slept, and now I'm going to try and keep myself up for the day with with good, organic, fair trade coffee. And not to knock the coffee, it's like the good stuff. I just kind of like, you know, it came to me. I was like, oh, this is the good stuff. It was cheap. So yeah, I mean, a man's got to sleep. And it's wearing me out because I've been praying since last year for a good night's sleep, and it still hasn't been granted. And now it's like, this is how I complain to God. I'm like, Lord, please, Father God, Jesus, please. Is this what sleep is for me now? Just every, you know, dreams and attacks. I remember the thing I was going to say that I forgot. If I just so much as, because I'm not getting good sleep, when I'm tired and wore down, no matter what time of the day it is or what day of the week it is, if I just start to nod off for a second, I'm right in dreamland. Like, I start dreaming right away. That's weird, right? Like, who falls asleep and starts immediately dreaming? Is God trying to prepare me to prophecy or something like that? Because I'm telling you, I don't really do that. I don't prophecy. I feel like he's giving me nothing but hell in my dreams. Why? The Lord works in mysterious. Am I being punished? Is it punishment? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't show you these videos. Maybe God's trying to set me up for something. Now I'm putting it out into the world. I'm sorry, Lord. I'm putting this video out into the world because I want you to help me, and I don't know what the hell this is, because I haven't gotten a good night's sleep since last year, and now it's just too much and too intense that as soon as, like, it happens all the time, like, I'm tired and I'm just like, do one of these, and then I sleep, and then I start dreaming just like that, just like the easiest thing. So that's why I've been using Freddy Krueger for the thumbnails, because I've done a lot of videos about dreams and spiritual warfare stuff, and I'm like, I never used Freddy Krueger before. That's the obvious choice. So now here you go. It's another unless YouTube won't let me use a thumbnail. This is probably gonna have, the other 2 videos are already uploaded. But I'm recording, but I had them spaced out. Like, I wasn't gonna be releasing 3 videos today, but now I think I am. So this is like the first video is like the 3rd video I recorded, because I'm doing it the morning of. The other 2 videos you're gonna see, part 2 and part 3, they've been uploaded for weeks. Or, you know, like a week or 2. So, this is part 1. This will be the end of part 1. Have you seen anybody's videos? Because how I've set it up is that the YouTube algorithm, like when I sign into YouTube, it says, hey, maybe you'd like to watch a video, so we could start an algorithm for you and suggest videos to you. That's the message I get from YouTube every time I sign in. Because when I watch videos on YouTube, I'm not signed in, so that it can't suggest anything to me, because I don't want it to suggest stuff to me. I don't want an algorithm to know anything about me. Alright? So I'm having trouble finding, you know, like YouTube can't suggest to me any videos I may have looked up on, like what happens when you sleep and in your dreams. So maybe you know a video that would help me, considering what I've told you. And if you're gonna watch the other 2 videos, well, you know, bless you. I hope that's not a waste of your Sundays. Probably you should just call God yourself and forget about my videos. You know, on all transparency. I mean, I'm in the realm of the shadow band here. My videos probably aren't very good. I'd like them to be. They seem way better when I'm making them. Like, that was a good one, and then I cut it together and play it back, and I'm like, I should edit all this shit out of my video, and then I don't do it. I'm sorry I said shit to you. Yeah, that's it. I hope that I can get this one. I'm gonna have to, like, you know, put the 3 parts of the video together and then export it, and hopefully I can get that up in the morning. The other 2 videos are already uploaded, so that's the easy part. Getting this one pushed to get, so maybe it will have titles in it, because what the hell, why not? I know I'm gonna have, I thought I could just do this in, like, you know, like 1 short segment, and here we are. It's gone longer than I think. So 3 long videos today. So I'm sorry if you don't like this one. You know, I have videos into, you know, you can just check in on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Please. I don't even care. You can like or subscribe. I don't know why. I really don't know why I make these. I think I'm helping people, but I'm like, maybe I'm just wasting their time, because if I could just, like, be more concise, my videos would be better. If I would just focus on being a comedy channel, I could be funny, probably. But instead, you get the movies that I make. I'm not making slop tent. I'm always usually talking about stuff as it relates to God or the world or whatever. So, you know, if you didn't like this one, I'm sure I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't mean to waste your Sunday morning. But if you want more of your time wasted, you can find out, you know, like the spiritual warfare stuff that I've been under, and more about my doing exorcisms and stuff, and fighting with mermaids and demons. I'm not kidding. And, you know, like, you would never want to have a wet dream, because if you're having a wet dream, that's a demon having sex with you. It's a demon mocking you, getting you to put a cold doubloon on your thigh, and you think, oh, that was a hot dream. Yeah, you just had sex with a demon, and they're ugly as shit. And the shadow people, they climb on your chest and they want to take your breath away, and you got to wake up or call. So what's the antidote for all this? Call out Jesus' name. But if there's levels to the spiritual warfare stuff, I know that the demons are weak. I don't even call out for, I called out his name one time, and then no, I didn't even do that. I just said, I love you, Jesus. I didn't even ask him for help. And then I kicked the demon, and the demon went away. And then I woke up and rebuked the dream, because it was trying to get me to sign paperwork. Yeah, demons are trying to get me to sign paperwork in my flippin' dreams. And they're trying to fuck me. Actually, they're trying to get me to have sex with them, because I'm the guy. Alright, so I'm the one that does the fucking, okay? I'll say, just so you know, alright? I'm all man, okay? But it's all my manhood is for only women, okay? So they're trying to be hot babes in my dreams, and then they get a little bit ugly, and I'm like, oh, hold on, I'm not doing this. And I gotta wake up and rebuke the dream. And they try to get me to take drugs, all things I've said before. So this has been my life. It's kind of wearing me out. And so what is sleep supposed to be? Is that what sleep is for everybody? It's a question that I don't have an answer to. Is that all, like, when we sleep, it's just God's letting demons into our lives to influence us, to wreck our lives, to keep us from the good things that He has intended for us? Why is God allowing this? Every night, and sometimes in the day, because I'm tired in the day, I'm like, please, Lord, I pray that I have restful, peaceful sleep, Lord. I'm tired now. And it's not even time for bed. So here I am starting my day with coffee. And can you help me? Can you direct me to the YouTube video? Maybe you could leave a comment that's effective. Don't tell me to take sleep aids. The problem isn't staying asleep. That'll just make it unable for me to wake up. And since I'm sleeping only an hour and a half to 2 hours spurts, sometimes it's less. It's like an hour. I wake up and I'm like, oh, well, I'm awake. I slept. And I'm like, oh, shit, it's been like an hour. And it feels like it's been hours. Because you know how dream time is. You're in the spiritual realm. All the videos I've done before, how when you take drugs, you're blurring the boundaries between corporeal and incorporeal. That's what's happening when you sleep too. You don't have to take drugs to blur boundaries. You know you can have a dream and it's like a lifetime. You don't have to go take DMT or hang out in a checkerboard clown world and talk to machine elves or Joe Rogan meditating green meanie aliens. You don't have to do that stuff. But it's the spiritual realm, and when you sleep, you're in it. And you know, astral travel's a thing. Don't do it. Lucid dreaming's a thing. That's what I'm doing, I guess. Even though I don't remember my dreams, they're lucid enough that I'm like, hey, you couldn't be possibly who you say you are, because that person's either dead. My Grammy's dead. You're not my Grammy. My kid's grown. You're not my kid. Who are you? I don't know. You know, you guys aren't my friends. You guys are like celebrities or something. What do you want me to eat steak with you guys for? That was one of the dreams. They wanted me to sit down and eat with them, and I said I don't want to. And they're like, well, at least place an order. So they got me to place an order with the waitress, and then I woke up and I had to rebuke the dream. So if this is happening to you, maybe you got to start rebuking your dreams. Maybe that's why you watch this video. I don't know. The Lord works in mysterious ways, and He uses whoever He wants to use. So maybe He's using me to get through to you. But please, now I'm using you to get through to Him. Will you bug God about me so that He will let me have a good night's sleep? Maybe He won't do it. Maybe He's trying to gear me up for something so I can prophesy the battle of Gog and Magog or something like that. I'm nothing. Like I'm just a guy. I'm not anything special. I'm not, you know, like exorcisms, I guess anybody can do them, because I'm nothing, all right? And I'm not special. So whatever's happening to me is just standard basic shit that could be for anybody else. You know what I mean? I'm just some kind of guy. And, you know, I trust them. Words to live by, what would Jesus do? WWJD. So I'm going to end the video now, and I'm going to say, it's Planet Daddy issue down here. You have access to most advanced technology possible, and you can pray for other people. So call your Father and tell Him to let me sleep, or to explain to me what it is that He's doing. My latest thing is just praying for wisdom, because I'm like, well, if I had prayed for wisdom, that's what Solomon did, and God was pleased with this. So I'm praying for wisdom so that maybe He would help it make sense to me while I'm sleeping. So you see what's in front of you now, my blurred visage behind you. Please call your Father. He's my Father too. Will you ask Him to help me? And bless you. I'll give you the blessing. Lord, whoever watches, whoever lays eyes on this video to this point, I pray that you would bless them. Even if they don't watch it to the end, I pray the blessing now to you as I record this video alone by myself at home. I know you hear me, Lord. Bless them, especially if they call you and bother you about me. Help them make sense, Lord. And, you know, and Planet Daddy should call your Father. Amen. Amen to that.